Also, I don't know if you see the in-game chat, but he was watching the stream and he's like, oh my god.
Yeah. What just happened? I hope he doesn't get any ideas.
Oh no, not like this, Puffy, not like this. So we'll see if he can make use of watching the stream if he advances onto the grand finals. For the time being, we have ourselves a PVZ.
Yeah, and we are, for the first time tonight, I believe, on Inside and Out. This is usually quite a popular map, I think, so far with the players. And here we have, spawning in the top right-hand corner, as the Red Zerg from the land of India, playing for Alpha X, it is Demi. We have a pause.
LunaSea's just gonna turn off the stream.
Oh no! He's gonna do it!
What? What?
Got an idea.
What is he saying? What does that mean?
I think he has to do the math. He's getting his calculator, Poppy.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
I suppose playing between India and Korea, Taiwan probably a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If both players agree, they can switch servers.
Okay.
Okay.
It is Demi.
There we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out ESL, we have the South Korean Protoss player himself. He is teal, representing Team Super. It is LunaSea. Oh. I'm still just recovering. What just happened? But again, you know, now we're out of the PvPs for the time being. We're taking a little bit of a break and we're diving into a PvZ. Ooh, something that I imagine is going to go a little bit more standard. I imagine because, again, LunaSea, from what we've seen, is one of the more aggressive Korean Protosses.
Quite aptly named. He does have some very aggressive playstyles, and we do see him already just denying the natural of the Zerg, something that we're pretty used to seeing these days. Just being a little bit annoying with the probe as well, just trying to deny some of the mining here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we do see that probe micro, as you were saying. Outside of that, everything is so far is looking pretty stock standard here. And yeah, it's just great to see a more diverse array of these maps. The one map that we haven't seen yet is, of course, Stargazers. Stargazers is still something that we haven't seen from these players. Maybe one day. Maybe in the finals.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice, I think Stargazers isn't a very popular one. And then also, I suppose Waterfall, probably not the most balanced map. I'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit?
It's a pretty small map.
Yeah.
I have been calling it Beckett 2.0.
Have people done the math? Is it shorter or equal to Beckett? Like, how does it compare?
I think it's longer, because Beckett, the problem with Beckett is they calculated the rush distance without the speed zones. But Waterfall doesn't have speed zones, so it's just kind of like Beckett without the speed zones, I think.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Waterfall is pretty Terran favored. But there aren't any Terrans left here. You know, all is right in the world.
Oh no!
As Demi has stopped droning, he stopped at 20 workers, and that is all he has.
Yeah, so starting to look a little bit like a Ling flood coming out from Demi. Did take his third base just for that extra lava. Does have Ling speed finishing up, but from now he's fully pulled out of gas and just pumping links.
Yeah, exactly. And he took the long way around as well to make sure he avoids any kind of scouting adept. He is ready to just come across the map. The wall is nowhere near being a wall, mate. There's just holes all over it. There's no shield battery. There is nothing here.
It does send these adepts out and does finish the wall just in time, but he is not filling the wall in time, and these lings are getting straight in.
Yeah.
Immediate probe pull, but the reinforcements are starting to flood in. Oh, and the pylon was blocked by the probe. Very unfortunate there for LunaSea.
Exactly, the Lings, they flood on in. He's going to get a full surround on the pylon. The pylon is going to get depowered. With that, there's no more production. One Oracle does come out, but that Oracle's energy is finite, and it may not be enough here to deal with all these Lings.
Yeah, the Oracle is out, but these Lings are going straight in for the probes, and there are just too many of them here for the Oracle to deal with. So many probes going down already, and GG has to be called.
And just like that, Demi with a massive Ling Flood. To be fair, an unscattered Ling Flood does catch LunaSea unawares, and he takes game number 1.
GG. A little bit of a cheeky opening there. A little bit unlucky as well for LunaSea. Did try to get that pylon block down, and his probes kind of got in the way of each other, derped a little bit. So definitely a frustrating one to lose there, but good way to open up the series for Demi.
Oh, yeah, exactly. A very nice cheeky win there, and now LunaSea is going to be put on notice, especially when it becomes in regards, to early game scouting. Oh, because hey, Demi, he's willing to cheese it up and just flood you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Demi just putting LunaSea on notice as well, that if there's any funny business at the start of the game, he can end it.
Oh yeah. Oh, as Demi in the chat says, lucky. Aye. We'll see how things go here, as now we go to one of the more standard maps in the map pool. To be fair, just like the previous one, a little bit larger though, in Cosmic Sapphire.
Yes, we're coming in on Cosmic Zerg map.
What's this wrong? It's a standard map, man. What are you on about? What are you talking about?
Aye.
Mate, it's so choky. You can wall off so easily as a Terran and Protoss. What do you mean? And speaking of walling off, we see someone who makes no walls, who needs no walls, who spits in the face of the walls that are not walls. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have our Indian Zerg player representing Alpha X. It is Demi.
And spawning up in the top left hand corner of the map, playing for a Team Super and representing South Korea, it is the Teal Protoss LunaSea.
Losing the first game in a little bit of a rough fashion here, but unfazed, undeterred, he does open up, sending his probe across the map, just making sure nothing crazy is going on, and he isn't tempted to proxy himself.
Yeah, for sure. Just opening up standard once again. I'm sure he won't be too phased. That's definitely something that has happened to every Protoss more than once before. It is an easy way to lose a game, just a little bit of a malfunction with the wall and those things getting in, it can be all over. So it'll be interesting to see what he has planned for this game.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I guess speaking a little bit about the previous game, it was such a shame we saw that the probe was going to wall off there and throw down a pylon, but unfortunately didn't get it up in time, wasn't able to wall off. An important thing about Cosmic Sapphire, and this is why it is not a Zerg map, is that it doesn't take that much to wall off here, so it is much more difficult to link flood your opponents, whether they be Protoss or even Terran.
Yeah, definitely not expecting to see the same strategy coming out from Demi on this map. Not only is it a 2-building wall for the Protoss, but also a much longer rush distance, so should be expecting a little bit more of a drawn-out macro game, at least for the start.
Yeah, that's what we should be expecting here, as Demi does reach that 20 drone count, but he's droning up even further from here, so again, nothing crazy going on. Pretty interesting here. Oh, okay, yeah, he does also pull completely out of gas, only enough for link speed.
Yeah, Demi, unlike Light, does pull out.
What are you trying to say, huh? What are you saying, Asher? What are you saying? Are you saying are you saying my kids don't deserve to be out there in the world? Is that what you're trying to say, huh?
You're a good father, Light. You're a good father.
Look, I provided Starduck with everything he needed, okay? With everything he wanted, okay? I gave him my life, Asher.
He's a prodigal son. Prodigal son.
Yeah. You know how he repays me?
He offers you to spend time with you, quality time with his father playing Kerrigan Survival, and you spit in his face.
I do.
Deny him.
I do.
You say, I have better things to do. Go away. Funara.
Shaking my head. He's such a disappointment.
Oh my god.
I love you, Starduck. I love you. That's why it hurts even more. Oh god.
Meanwhile, we do see these adepts with... I'm not sure if I've seen this adept skin before.
Oh.
What is that?
Yeah, it's the oh god, it's the simulation, the purification guys.
Okay.
Yeah. The purifiers, that's it, the purifier skin.
What does that thing at the back do? Just make it up. What does it do?
What does it do?
What does it mean?
I don't know, Puffy, I don't know. I'm a Zerg player.
This is why you can't beat Protoss, because you don't know what the things on their back do.
I don't know what the adepts do, man. I just know they kill everything, Puffy. They kill everything.
There's just one of them, and then there's two of them, and then there's none of them. I don't know what's happened.
But we do have something a little bit different here coming out from Demi. One, he's droning. Oh, the Oracle harassment is coming into play here. Does he finish up the stasis? He will! He will!
Yeah, gets the stasis on 2 queens there. Really annoying there for Demi. Making good use out of his oracles, but meanwhile, we don't see any more oracles coming out from LunaSea. We in fact see glaives.
Yeah, exactly. We saw a double Oracle opener with the excess gas. He is going to be going straight into our Twilight Council, straight into glaives. We have 4 gates behind this, 6 gates in total. Sorry, 5 gates in total for the time being. We'll see if he throws down any more. What I'm a little bit worried about is that Demi is going for the standard opening against Stalkers. He's going for +1 melee for that triple Oracle Stalker opening. This isn't the most ideal against glaives.
Yeah, maybe just anticipating here more of that hero style that we've been seeing a lot of, that Swarm Toss style, which would make a lot of sense for that to be played on such a larger map, and especially with the multiple oracles already. But we do see LunaSea playing the unexpected here.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be warping in a couple of waves of adepts and then zooming across the map with everything that he has. Demi also didn't go for a safety Roach Warren. He opted for a Bailey Nest instead. Oh, now throwing down a Roach Warren. Roach Warren a little bit late here, so he's going to be relying on Ling Bane to defend. It looks like the Lings of Demi are going to catch this move out, so he's well aware of the adepts. And yeah, immediately he morphs in those Banes.
He does see the adepts and the glaives finishing just as they clear off that scouting Ling, so he does see the glaives as well. Fortunately, Demi this time seeing the stasis trap immediately, only loses the 1 drone for now, and the first shade is more than ready. Demi's more than ready for the first shade.
Oh, exactly. It looks like 2 adepts do shade towards the 3rd base, but Lings were already there ready and waiting. Again, the goal here for Demi, especially with these Banelings, are to try and keep up with the shade. If he ever commits into the shade, then Banelings are going to be waiting for him. Meanwhile, a massive stasis trap in the main. Oh my god.
Yeah, great job there using the shades just to distract, and manages to deny the mining of quite a lot of drones here. And we do see that LunaSea not committing any further into these adepts, is starting to get into his 1-1 upgrades, into the blink, going more into that style that we're starting to grow quite accustomed to of the Protosses against Zerg.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, this is pretty important from LunaSea. He cannot throw away these adepts. If he ever does, then Demi's just going to counterattack. He's going to counterattack with Ling Bane, and LunaSea won't have a lot or anything to defend at home. So the goal here is just to keep him at bay until he gets enough army, until he gets his production going to transition into those Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing LunaSea keeping tabs on the army, keeping tabs on the drone count of Demi. But at the same time, he is finishing up the gold base.
Oh my god. Very ballsy move here by LunaSea. Looking at the vision of Demi, he has no idea that this base has been taken. It's very exposed, it's very isolated, it's very vulnerable to Ling Bane. But because of all these adepts, he was able to give himself enough breathing room to take it.
Yeah, I love this play by LunaSea, just using the map control afforded by the adepts. Obviously for the Zerg player, they don't know how committed this adept attack is. They have to sit back in this more defensive posture. Demi using the chance to drone up, but at the same time, this gold base is going to be such a nuisance, especially with all the zealots that he can warp in with the extra minerals.
Exactly, like typically minerals isn't too important here for a Protoss player, but hero style is much more mineral intensive than anything. He specifically delays his 5th and 6th gas for a long time, so this gold is going to be huge for LunaSea.
Yeah, I would expect to see quite a power spike as that charge finishes up, and already we're seeing these Stalkers just starting to trade out with the army of Demi, slowly chip away. At the same time, these Adepts on the right, well caught by a Demi, who splits his army well to defend this.
Oh yeah, the Adepts completely get shut down. The Stalkers themselves are finding some damage here on the left-hand side, trading incredibly well, clearing up as much creep as possible, specifically on the left-hand side to help protect this gold. Again, the gold that is still unscattered by Demi. Oh wait, no, sorry, he has seen it.
Yeah, so I suppose Demi must have snuck out a Ling at some stage, but LunaSea still doing a very good job just using these Stalkers to keep tabs on the army, being nice and conservative with these Oracles. He'll just make sure that if the Lings ever try to get a surround on the Stalkers, he can activate that Pulsar Beam just to punish that.
Oh, good. He can. Meanwhile, a bit of a bailing run by does get taken out, as you were saying. I think what I'm most surprised about is how great LunaSea has been at denying all this creep. It's barely exceeding past the bases of Demi. Instead, though, he goes for a massive run by.
Yeah, we see this run by one of the first times Demi has actually managed to get himself across the map, and these Stalkers are going to take too long to clean up the Lings to be able to deny the cancel on that Nexus, but at the same time, does manage to shave a lot of these Lings off.
Oh, even forces a recall here, so not too much economic damage was done, to be honest, but at least it does force LunaSea all the way back. Demi has more room to tag on up. We do see +1 on the way. Bailing run by heads towards the gold, but does get denied. LunaSea's economy pretty untouched.
Yeah, nice defense there coming out from LunaSea, and we do see the probe count almost matching the drone count, which is a very nice position for the Protoss to be in.
It's the ideal position to be in, and that's exactly where LunaSea is. Meanwhile, the Ling Bane is going to be rushing on forward. We do have a couple of stage traps behind this army to fall back on.
Yeah, beautiful blink control from LunaSea, just managing to get the most damage he can, trying to get all these shots off. It is something that I notice when I see Hero playing this style, is he's really trying to maximize the damage that he can get with these Stalkers.
Oh, exactly. Trying to keep them alive for as long as possible. Meanwhile, the first stasis trap is about to run out. Bailings, so they are not ideal against Stalkers whatsoever, and this base is slowly being broken.
Yeah, this very nice micro from LunaSea, managing to do a lot of damage to the army of Demi, and he is slowly starting to break on this side, but the Bailings should push him away for the moment.
Yeah, Bailings help, but another wave of Stalkers rolls on in. The Roaches are being targeted down one after the other. Likewise, Demi cannot afford to lose these Roaches. Lings have to be the buffer. With these reinforcements, it looks like Demi barely has enough. Oh, he holds on to his fourth base. He's trying to.
Yeah, very aggressive blink coming in there from LunaSea. Maybe a bit of an overextension, but at the same time, he is sending Zealots into the natural, and the drones are starting to fall.
Oh yeah, the Zealots do break on in, but you know what? It's only a handful of Zealots, and these reinforcements taking a long time to get across the map.
Yeah, the game absolutely in the balance here. Very neck and neck between the two armies, but Demi is starting to push back this attack on the right, and it seems almost all the Stalkers have been cleaned up for LunaSea.
Yeah, exactly, and we can look at the banks here, and again, we talk about how it's so important to keep your Stalkers alive throughout the entire game as a Protoss player, because you don't have a lot of gas to work with. Intentionally, you are avoiding your additional gases on these bases, and because of that, he just can't afford to rebuild his Stalker count.
Yeah, absolutely, and we are seeing the urgency that he has to get back out on the map. It's very important when playing against the Zerg with this style that you are keeping the pressure on constantly and keeping the Zerg on their side of the map. If the Zerg does manage to push you back to your side of the map, things can get really awkward.
They really can. I guess thankfully for LunaSea, it took a lot for Demi to defend, and I'm sure he's a little bit traumatized by what just happened. He saw his life flash before his eyes. He's like, oh, there was a moment there where potentially this base would have been broken. So Demi, oh, he's calming down, he's remaxing, he's working on his upgrades, and he just finished his Ultra Cavern.
Yeah, getting his upgrades on the way. Meanwhile, I did see Demi, he's got Overseer kind of snuck in the main dead space of LunaSea, and he did manage to deny the +3 attack for quite a little while with the I don't even know the name of the ability. Contaminate ability, yeah.
Yeah, very nice moves there by Demi, being able to lay those upgrades for as long as possible. Meanwhile, he tries to deny this northern base of LunaSea, but oh, he is able to rotate around to meet him in kind. Again, something that's really hurting Demi right now. It's great that he's got ultras, but the creep, does he has 2 active creep tumors towards the south, nothing active in the middle, and fighting off of creep with ultras can be a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, we've seen the dividends that all the pressure coming out from LunaSea has paid. He has managed to keep Demi, for the most part, cornered off in his side of the map. And at the same time, Demi only on 5 bases to the 6 of LunaSea. So always a great position for the Protoss to be in, to be outnumbering the Zerg in bases.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, and whenever it does, it's never a pretty sight to behold as a Zerg player. Meanwhile, we have a War Prism sneaking into the main base, the main army, trying to distract that of Demi. Ultras have been spotted, so now LunaSea knows that maybe a transition into Skytoss or even Immortals should be on the cards.
Yeah, this is a formidable army that Demi has built up, and we can see that LunaSea just trying to get the fight to happen on this side of the map. Demi using a huge number of Banelings on that Archon there. Really nice trades for LunaSea.
Oh yeah, the Archon did so much for the cause there. Meanwhile, Zealots in the main base, we do see a force unsiege of the Prism. It looks like Demi will be able to defend his main. At the same time, the Stalkers don't find a way in at the fort.
There's so much pressure coming out from LunaSea here, but it is really on him to make sure that he does keep on top of this army and shave off as much of it as he can before he gets to his side of the map.
Yeah, I just don't know if he can, because Demi, he's maxed out. He's got so much Ling Bane to work with, and that's exactly what you want against all these Stalkers. We have a couple of Ultras as well. Demi, he may have had a bit of a rougher economy, but he just has the superior army.
Yeah, we can see this is a very low-tech army that LunaSea is on, and this is where you can start to get in trouble when you don't have that splash that you normally need to deal with the Lings and the Banes of the Zerg. It can be very difficult to deal with this army with pure Stalkers.
Exactly, the Banelings crash on forward. The Stalkers are falling left and right. There's more than enough to keep up with all of these Blinks. We do see a couple of Zealots being warped in, but again, Zealots are not what you want right now.
Yeah, the Zealots just trying to get rid of some of these Banelings one by one. We do see some DTs in here, and I don't believe there is any detection for Demi, but Demi is just charging through the economy.
Yeah, exactly. Demi doesn't care. The 4th base is going to be going down. Meanwhile, Lingbane Ultra headed towards this left-hand side as well. Looks like Demi has recognized that there are DTs, and he made a choice there. He was a little bit indecisive, but in the end, he still wants that Nexus.
Yeah, a little bit of awkward pathing of the army just coming around this wrong side, and it does cost him one of the Ultras, but he will just retreat, get back home, get a little bit of vision to deal with these DTs, and get ready for his next attack.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a DT run by, but we have detection. Spores are being thrown down. Nice transfuse, keeping that Spore alive in the natural base. There's one DT chilling here in the main, hoping that maybe Demi will move out, and then he can find his time to strike. But Demi, his economy is just insane. He just maxes out again.
Yeah, and these DTs, going to be very difficult for them to find any damage with the Spores in most of the bases now, especially all the mining bases. He does try to snipe this Spore here, but won't be able to get enough damage on it before it is cleaned up.
Yeah, exactly. And now LunaSea is stuck with just pure Stalker. 9 Stalkers, 2 Zealots, and 1 Oracle against a maxed out Zerg army.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough to defend, and GG is called.
Wow, GG, well played. Demi is able to fight against the odds despite going up against a gold base that he wasn't able to touch, despite going up against a Protoss player with so many bases and such a good economy. Demi defends, survives until Ultras, and takes the series.
Yeah, very well done there by Demi. Very patient game coming out from him. Just took his time, defended, took his bases as slowly as he needed, and it didn't turn out to be too much of an issue for him, that gold base, as he did take good trades in the defense and eventually found his time to strike.
Yeah, really well done. I do think that there were moments there where, especially in the mid game, it felt like LunaSea did overextend a little bit with his Stalkers. Like, he was smelling blood in the water, and I mean, he was like slowly breaking through Demi's defenses. Like, don't get me wrong, but maybe the wrong moment there to offensively blink on forward, and he just lost a little bit too much. And then when he lost the momentum in that push, Demi never let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. And Demi does manage to take the 2-0 with that and goes on to the grand final.
Oh boy, exactly. It looks like we will not have a PvP grand final. It is going to be a Protoss versus a Zerg.
Told you, mate. Grand final. Zerg. Never in doubt.
Oh god, of course, the one time
Asher, the one time.
The one time Asher casts a Sparkling Tuna Cup is going to be the one time we have a Zerg champion, mate. Aye.
Mate, every Sparkling Tuna Cup that I've casted, there's been a Zerg in the grand final.
True.
Explain that.
Yeah. I'm just checking. Historically, we've only ever had a Zerg in the finals twice. Twice before this.
It is very exciting to be here to cast the second ever Sparkling Tuna Cup.
Oh my god, shaking my head, Asher. Shaking my head. But
What an honor.
with that, Asher, it is that time of the tournament.
I forgot about this.